Dear viewer, welcome back to our channel Learning the Hard Way. Let's discuss about a file path. What do we mean by a file path? Once you hear that word path, it's like a road. If someone says, from your home to the district, which route do you take? A person should be able to guide you to say, maybe you take this road. Once you reach at this junction, you go to this direction. Then from there, maybe you are able to see a signpost. Then after seeing a signpost, this person is able to tell you that you are at the district. So a file path still helps you to find a document, or it helps you to locate a file name in a computer. So a file path helps you to find the exact location of the document. So it helps a user to find the exact location of the document. So if you are given a computer and maybe this computer is having lots of files, it is having very many folders and subfolders, you need to know a file path, because if you fail to identify a file path, if you are not able to interpret a file path, then it might be hard for you to navigate through the computer. But once you are equipped with information about a file path, then you are able to go ahead and locate each of the file in the computer. You don't need to suffer a lot. You just need a guidance from maybe from the teacher or from the computer user, from somebody who has been operating. Then you are able to locate. Assume you are given maybe a new job in a new location. Then they tell you that files are stored in this area, files are here, maybe files about finance, files about salaries, files about staff, that they are located in this side of area. Maybe there is some kind of manual that guides you. So if you are equipped with this file path, then you would be able to navigate through the computer and maybe find your work easier. So we have said that it helps the user to find the exact location of the document in the computer. So you have to take note of this, because once you take note of this one, then you are able to interpret it very well, and you know what you are doing when we are discussing about a file path. We have some kind of components. We have some components that make a file path. One of them is like a drive letter, then another one is a folder, another one is a file name or subfolder. So you may have a folder, you may have a subfolder, and you may have another subfolder. You may have even very many subfolders. Then you need to have a file name. Then this file name must be having an extension. For example, if I say I'm going to my local disk D or my drive D, then I say I put slash. When I usually do, where do I go? I say I go into learning in AI. Okay, let me say into learning, because you don't need to give long names to your folders. I say maybe you go to learning, then inside learning we say you are going to lesson 1, then lesson 1, then we say inside lesson 1 we are going maybe to part 1. Then after part 1 we are saying we are locating a file called file path dot j. Anyway, let's put .doc, because I don't have time to go into the publishing software so that I can create an image. So we can call it file path.document. So what do I need to do? Now I need to go to D. I create the folder learning. I create the folder lesson 1. I create there another folder called sub part 1. Then finally I save my file there. So if I come here, I come to this D, that is new. You can call it new volume. It depends on the version of the operating system that you are running. This computer of mine is running on Windows 10. That is why you are seeing new volume. But if you are on computers which run Windows 8, 2007, many of them will show you that this one is a local disk. So what do I need to do? I need to understand I need to first know the folders that I want to create, because that is why I've tried to shrink this window so that I'm able to see my file path that I have just created there in Microsoft Word that I want to follow. So I come in this on local disk D, I right click, I go to new, then I go to folder. Once I'm on folder, what do? My first folder is learning, that is, this is our main folder. I double click to enter this learning. Once I'm in learning, I remember when we are on topic of creating folder, I told you the shortcut that you can use so long as you're on desktop, that is coming here, and you click on new folder, then a new folder will be created. Then you go to, you call it lesson 1. Then still inside lesson 1, according to this path, I'm seeing another folder called part 1. I enter this folder by double clicking. I right click, I go to new, then I go to folder. This one is part 1. So this is my part 1 folder. Then inside part 1 folder, you can check that we have a file path.document. Now let's save our file. Let's save our file into the path that we have created. So assume you are given a task, and this person may be the person who has given you a task, who has delegated you to perform a task, gives you the path and says, I want you to save this work in this location. So what do? Like now I come to file, I go to save as, I come to browse. Then after going to browse, I'm scrolling down here so that I can navigate through this menu here on my left. I go to, because I created this folder on new volume D, that is where I go. How did I save it? I saved it as learning. I come and double click, I enter. Then after entering, we are going to lesson 1. Then inside lesson 1, we are going to part 1. This is our final subfolder. Then we said we should save our work as file path dot dc. You can decide to change the name, but it's better that you put a name which is relevant to the content that you want to save there. So I've called it file path dot this. Oh no, I don't need to put a dot, because this one down here on save as type, it is well specified that is a Word document. So I come and save. So if I come and close, and I want to locate this file following the file path that we created, so I know that I have to go to new volume D. Then I go to learning as our folder. I go into lesson 1, I go into part 1. This is what we call a file path. Let me click on this file path and check. So once you click on file path, then if I open or if I double click, I'm able to retrieve my content. Let me close again. Then if I come and select this file path name, then I come and click on copy path. Let me double click it and open. I copied my path. I come and paste. I want you to check this file path and check the path that we created. Are they related? I think they are similar. There is no difference. The only difference is that this one here, I have a forward slash, and this side they are using a backward slash. So knowing how to interpret this file path will help you to enjoy your experience while using the computer. Let us explain more about this file path so that someone can understand it better. So when we are on D, this is a drive writer. Knowing that once you install an operating system in a computer, sometimes you need to create partitions, because partitions are safer. Because once you rely on Windows C, where an operating system is stored, at any time you may lose your data in case your computer is infected with a virus, and you find you need to format it, then you find life is hard for you. So it is always a good practice to create other drives on your computer. You create partitions so that once you are saving much of your work, you save it on other partitions other than C. Some people don't know that once you save work on desktop, once you save work in My Documents, in downloads, in pictures, that they are saved automatically on Windows C, and that is how many people lose their information. So it is always important that you always create partitions so that you have other safer locations where you can store your data, and you are able to still mean with it in case your computer gets infected with a virus. So we have said the first letter that is always in a file path is a drive letter. Where we are saying a drive letter is like you are saying new volume D, new volume E, F, depending on the drives that you have. Then if you are having an external drive, maybe if you put like a USB, still it will be selected the other side, and you'll be able to view it, and then you can also put it there. So D is a drive letter. Then once you go to learning, this is what we call this is a main folder, because it is having other subfolders inside. So when you go to lesson 1, this one becomes a subfolder. Then once you go to part 1, still this one is a subfolder because it is a folder inside lesson 1, and still again it is a folder inside learning. Then we go to part 1. Oh, sorry, we are done with part 1 now. Finally, we go to file path. So what do we mean by file path? This is just a file name. Then after reviewing, after knowing our file path, that it is a file name, then we have another part which is DCOCX. This is a file extension which helps you to know the type of file that you are all going to open. Again, it helps you to know the right application that you need to open that kind of file. Remember, we said once like this file of ours is a document, there that means you need a word processor. If it is a .xlax, you need a spreadsheet. So we need to know how to identify these file types. We need to know how to distinguish them using the file path. So that is how important the file path is, helping you to locate the document in your computer, or you can even say it is the exact location of a file in a computer. So we are able to click on a file, then we went here to our ribbon section. Then this copy path got activated. Then after copying the path, we pasted it in the computer. A file path is the exact location of a file. So when you are asked to define path, you define it as the exact location of a file. A file